Hello again, everyone. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. Things to me, now, let me know what you think, but to me, things just seem off. Just in general, just my general sense of things. Uh, Especially when I go outside here lately, I can't explain it. I really can't. But it just seems off, everything. Um, just in a very general sense to me. Wish I could explain that better. I really do. Uh, I believe that it's about to get real, for real. Okay. And what I mean by that is there's a lot happening right now. It looks like that the world is trying to shut down again. It feels to me very much like that feeling I had in March of 2020. There was a lot of uncertainty. A lot of people were scared. Now, uh, it just feels that way to me right now. The world is trying to go back into what we did back then. If you look at the media or just look at current events, let's just kind of go around for a bit. New York City pandemic high alert. Uh, they're saying cases are doubling in the span of one day. Now, they don't talk about lives lost now, but they're just talking about cases right now, just to be clear. But there's just a lot of hype. There's a lot of media about it. Okay. I'm not saying it's not true, uh, but this is just what we're hearing, what we're seeing right now. Uh, if we go international, same thing happening. A lot of Europe shutting down, doing a lot of restrictions already. I was watching some clips earlier today. There's a lot of heavy protests going on. Germany, Austria, London. I saw some footage of a large crowd in London that were gathered right near Downing Street right there. It had a police line trying to separate the crowd from uh, the in Parliament Square or near Parliament Square, I guess, but near down. This was on Downing Street, and trying to keep them out of those buildings. And the big crowd was really giving it to the police and throwing stuff at them, pushing those barricades into them. I mean, it looked pretty rough, looked pretty tough there. They said the police had some injuries there, but and you're seeing a lot of protests in around Europe as well. But it looks like a lot of Europe is trying to lock down on all this. Switch back to the United States. Talking about some NFL games being canceled, some NHL hockey league games being canceled because of this stuff, schools closing or going back to virtual learning, which, in my opinion, they don't learn a dang thing doing virtual. Just my opinion. Some might, but most don't. Um, Depends on where you live as far as the impact of this. Now, where we live, we're in North Georgia. When we go out and stuff, do really what we want right now. It doesn't seem to be any problems right here, here at least for now. Um, but they're trying to do shutdowns and restrictions similar to what they did back in March of 2020. You can stick a fork in the economy. The supply chain's already. By the way, there's more ships now than ever backlogged out of the port of LA out there in California. I'm seeing reports of near 100 or over 100. Who knows? It differs. That's not getting any better. It's getting worse, of course. Um, Now, there's a lot going on with that. As for uh, the medical treatment, okay, you know what I'm talking about. You got to do what's right for you. That's a personal choice, personal slash family slash between you and your primary care or your healthcare professional. That is your choice. It should be your choice. Other than that, it's nobody else's business. That's the way I look at it. If you choose to do it, I don't look at you any differently. Okay, that's you. Um, it's not a one size fits all. We all have to consider our health and what's going to be best for us. And you got to do what you got to do. Okay. That's just my thinking on it. You know, shouldn't be forced. All right. But regardless of your decision, whether you want to do it or not, or whether you've done it or not, doesn't matter to me. But regardless of that decision, the ones in power are going to keep trying to get more power. Okay. So if you think that, well, you've done the double thing and you've done it, everything's fine. No, that's not going to stop. They're going to keep going to other things as well. Um, Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Okay. You give them an inch, they're going to take a mile and more. All right. We're already seeing that. Get the picture. You know where I'm going with this. You think it's going to stop with just that? No. Talk more about that in a second. Also, I want to talk about an article here in just a second that was shared with me by a subscriber. Absolutely disturbing. Okay, I'm going to get to that in a second. Uh, but uh, but if you think that they're going to stop at this, you're wrong. I mean, what can they try to go after? I think there's no end. There is no end. There is no satisfying thirst for power. Okay, and they're not all this way. I know, but a lot are. Uh, you know, so I haven't seen anything yet. That's just my thought. Now, this dang article. All right, y'all, seriously, get ready for this. Uh, there is in the state of New York. I'll link this in the description. In the state of New York, there's legislation uh, that provides for indefinite detention of the un-JAB people at the governor's whim. All right. On January 5th, 2022, New York State or New York Senate and Assembly will vote on a bill that would, if passed into law, grants permission to remove and detain cases, contacts, carriers, or anyone suspected of presenting quote unquote a significant threat to public health and remove them from public life on an indefinite basis. On an indefinite basis. Okay. It's got to be voted on. It's not a law now. Okay. Just to be clear. The bill number is A as in Apple 416. Presents a serious risk to basic liberties of all Americans in the state of New York, including the right to choose whether or not to receive a medical treatment. The bill would give the governor of New York, his or her delegates, including but not limited to the commissioner and heads of local health departments, the right to remove and detain any individuals or groups of people through issuing a single order or orders only have to include the individual's name or reasonably specific descriptions of the individuals or groups. The language is purposely vague. I read through part of it, read through a lot of it, but it's very vague. Okay. I think it's on purpose, of course. The department can decide to hold a person or group of people in a medical facility or any other they deem appropriate. The bill attempts to state that no one shall be held for more than 60 days. The language allows for court orders to waive this maximum detention time, however. It goes on in some more details, but it's something else. Goes on to state that the bill will require an individual who has been exposed to or infected by a disease to complete an appropriate prescribed course of treatment and preventative medication treatment, essentially giving the government the right to JAB and detain anyone they want for an indefinite time period. Am not gonna read the whole thing. I'm gonna share it, but this violation is a fundamental violation of fundamental human rights. The government should be working for the people, not locking them up without cause. Others have noted the similarities between this bill and the Australian response. You haven't heard, Australia, and they've built a number of these facilities that can hold thousands of people at any given time. Yes, they do. The language of the bill, the language of Bill A416 can guarantee that Americans, whether they test positive or negative, can be held indefinitely at such facilities. So if that doesn't rock your boat a little bit, I don't know what will. But folks, I don't want this to go too long, but what's next? There's no end. What do they want to restrict next? Insurance, gasoline, your travel, going interstate, crossing the state lines, getting groceries, your access to your money, your bank. The possibilities are endless. Okay. Could be a slippery slope. Should be an interesting winter. Keep preparing. Keep praying, Lord. Yes, keep praying. I'm going to talk about that more tomorrow or later today, depending on when you're watching this. Stay aware. Keep up with current events. I know it's tempting to just turn it all off, turn it off for a while, but we have to keep aware of what's going on. Okay. So with that, take care of yourselves. Be well, be safe. Like I said, be aware, keep praying. God bless you. I will see you soon.